I want you to imagine something with me for a moment right now. Imagine your funeral. The people who matter most to you are there. Your family, your friends, all the people whose lives you've touched are present. And one by one, those people go up to say something about you. What will these people say about you? And more importantly, is that what they would say about you today? That second question is what this video is about. And I promise you, if you sit with it just for a little bit of time, it'll tell you everything you need to know about your life today. So, why does this matter? Well, most of us are living our lives forwards. We are trying to do what's practical, we're trying to do what makes sense, and we're constantly thinking about what the next step is. But how often do we just take a moment to stop and take a look at the full picture of our entire lives? That's what this question helps you do. What's cool about it is that you go to the end and then you look backwards. And in doing so, you reveal the gaps in your life and you reveal the distance between who you are today and who you want to have been at the end of your life. The good news is you can close these gaps, but you have to be able to see them first. And that's what this exercise helps you do. So today I'm going to teach you how to do this exercise. I'll give you some questions to actually help you do the reflection. I'll share my own responses because I did it myself, and then I'm going to challenge you to do it. So let's dive in. This is how you do it. I want you to find a quiet space, find a moment where you're by yourself, and I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine your funeral. I want you to imagine the people that will be there and really feel the weight of that moment. Sit in it for a second. And then as you're imagining, ask yourself three questions. The first question is, what do you want people to say about who you were as a person? Think about your character, your values, who you were. The second question that I want you to ask is, what do you want people to say about how you lived? Think about the choices you made, the risks you took or didn't take, and the life that you ultimately built for yourself. And then the third and final question is, what do you want people to say about the impact that you had on the people that were around you? Think of your responses to these three questions and then write them down. So I actually did this exercise with myself before I filmed this video, and I'd like to share with you really quickly so you can get a sense of what it's like and just a different perspective. So when I was sitting here imagining my funeral and all the people that would be there and what they would say about me, two words immediately popped into my head. And those words were authenticity and consistency, which I kind of laughed about the second one because I care so much about being consistent. And I think that will really follow me to my deathbed for the rest of my life. And I'm happy about it. It's super important to me. And I really feel like it is the key to a lot of the things that I'm successful at. Anyways, in general, this is what I would imagine people saying at my funeral: that he was authentic and consistent, but he lived life on his own terms, that he was completely fearless and he prioritized the people that he loved. He showed up in his relationships and he tried to pour into their cups of love. In addition to that, he was kind and generous to everyone. People will remember me for the passion that lives inside of me, the passion for adventure, the passion for electronic music, the ocean, for taking risks and for doing things that other people were too scared to do. Living life on his own terms, living life in an intentional and fulfilling way, in the way that he knew he would thrive. Along the way, he impacted people, he inspired people, and he made an impression on people. But most importantly, and this is the undercurrent beneath everything, is that he had a genuine passion for living. And this is what fueled everything. He truly and deeply understood that life is beautiful and that we only have one chance to live this life. And day in and day out, he didn't ever want fear to be the reason why he didn't live out the life that he'd always dreamed of. That he was always chasing dreams and he was always working towards them and trying to be the best version of himself, building community and being there for others and simply enjoying. When I read that back to myself, I felt like it mostly aligned and I was very happy with that. But there was one gap that identified itself. And that gap for me lives in my work. So if you've watched my videos, you've been following my channel, you'll know that I'm an elementary teacher at an international school in Brazil. I've been on this journey for 11 years outside of the United States, and it's been an incredible one. But the gap for me is that I didn't dream of being a teacher. Now, don't get me wrong, this is incredibly important work and I enjoy it. And there are so many benefits of my work, both in being able to give to others, but and also in what I receive. However, it's not my calling for the rest of my life. My mom is a teacher, and that's been incredible because it's important to her and we deeply connect on helping kids grow and be good people. However, I feel like I have always been meant to do lots of different things, and this work has an expiration date. The gap is in taking the leap beyond education and leaving the world of teaching. This will be the biggest leap that I'll ever have taken And I know deep inside of me that the answer lies in building my own business, working for myself, leaving that 9 to 5, the stability, the comfortability that comes with that, and living life on my own terms. As I just stated, I want people to remember me for the fact that I lived on my own terms. Most of the things that I've done with my life, I have done so. But if you want to take a look at my work and what I'm currently doing, it's not quite stacking up. And so the beauty of this exercise is in reminding me that this is a leap that I need to take. This is a leap that I'm going to take because it aligns with who I am. And I know I'm meant to do other things and that I will thrive in those things. And I'm already becoming the person that I'm meant to be. This is just one step on that path. What's great is that I know that I can continue to impact people. Teaching is not the only space to impact people. And so I will continue to do so as I build my business, but I'll be doing it on my own terms. And when I'm doing it on my own terms, I'll have the freedom to spend more time with people that I love. I'll be able to travel more, be able to provide for my future family. Everything converges at this decision. And so I'm glad that I did this exercise because it revealed to me kind of the fog disappeared and I saw like, okay, most of this stuff is aligned with my life and I feel confident that people would say these things about me. And here's an area of my life where I know that I can double down on these things that people would say about me in terms of being authentic and following my own path. So I'm super curious. As you do this exercise, what's your gap? What surfaces for you? I'm willing to bet that you actually already have an idea of what it is, but doing this exercise forces you to look more closely at it and then to ask yourself, well, what do you do about it? On the topic of gaps, why might some people never close that gap? Well, the thing is because as soon as you see that there is a gap, people dislike the fact that that gap is too wide. And then they end up feeling unfulfilled because closing the gap between who you are and who you could be is simply too difficult, too scary. And so we default back to what feels comfortable, back to what feels familiar, and then that gap persists. But let me tell you right now that if you don't do anything about closing this gap, then there's a chance that you'll get to your funeral and people may not say what you hope or want them to say about you. Think about it this way. Every year that you spend not closing that gap is a year that doesn't make it into the eulogy that you want. So to conclude, I want to leave you with the challenge. Do this exercise. Take 15 minutes. Find a moment to be with yourself and think about these questions that I outlined in this video. If after doing the exercise, you see that everything in your life today aligns with what your eulogy will sound like, great, celebrate it. That's still an awesome thing. But if you do identify a large gap, sit with it. Don't look away. Don't ignore it. And then identify one action step that you can take towards closing that gap. So I'll leave you with this without sounding too cliche. You have one life. You have one opportunity to live the life that you want. This funeral question that I've asked actually isn't about death. It's about life. And it's about waking up to the life that you're currently living and deciding consciously if it's the one that you actually want. Go do something about it. If this video interested you, I made another video along the same lines that helps you to choose what you want to do with your life. It's called the Odyssey Plan. Check it out right here. If this resonated with you, please subscribe, send it to a friend. I appreciate the help. I appreciate you showing up, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Thank you.